So hi everyone, now we are going to look into the next part. So we have already gone through the topics on data science and Python. Both were introductory topics. Now we are going to see look into the introduction to Spyder. Now Spyder is basically a tool, okay, which is used for data science. So we are going to see how basically we can, or how well we can actually make use of Spyder for our data science application. So basically what is that we will be learning in this particular lecture? See, in this particular lecture we are mainly working on Spyder, so I'll be showing you practically also how to actually use a Spyder tool. Okay, so first thing what we are going to see is how does actually Spyder look. Okay, so this particular Spyder environment, how does it look, because there are different parts, and what are the role of each and every part, that is very important. Okay, and how to set a working directory in basically Spyder. To put it in a very simple way, how to set your directory or a path where you can save a file. That is what is actually meant by working directory. There are various ways that they actually mention by using OS, importing OS and all, that is importing operating system, and again setting the directory and going with command like cd. All these things are of no use. I'll show you a much easier way which will help you to set your working directory and create your own Python file and how to save it. Okay, we will also at the end execute a small codes, and we'll try to understand what is a variable. So this is what we are going to look into in this particular lecture. Okay, now the appearance of a Spyder. Okay, now this is how actually Spyder looks like, and the version that normally was used earlier when I was actually using Spyder is Python 3.6, but as of now I'm actually going with Python 3.12. Okay, so basically you have here three different windows. This is the main window of the Spyder. Okay, and here normally you have the main coding area where you can write your codes, and this is the console window, and this is the variable explorer. Okay, where normally whenever you execute any program or anything, the variable explorer highlights it. For example, if you're going with a variable called you're going a variable where you have stored an integer, all that things actually comes here with its name, what is the type, integer, float, double, or whatever it is, it gets highlighted in this type. And then here we have actually the size of each variable. Okay, so this is here, the name is there, type is there, and the size is there. So this is the Windows variable explorer window, and this is the console. Here basically you get the output of whatever code you're running here. This is the code or the scripting window where you can script your code. Okay, so this I will show you live in the software also. Just a minute. So this is the main window actually. Okay, so you can see here normally I've already typed a few commands here. Okay, so we will see that, but I just want to we'll see it later how to run this command. So this is my main window where I'm actually where we can actually type our codes, and I had already told you that this is the variable explorer window. So you can just see that I have given that a is a variable. For that I've given a value of 12, which is an integer. So it shows that the name is a, and the type that I'm feeding it to it is an integer, and the size is 1 byte, and it is 12. The value is 12. Okay, so this is how it actually shows in the variable explorer, and this is my console window where it actually shows me the the answer or the output of every command I run in my command, that is the scripting window. Okay, so these are the three important windows of the Spyder software. Okay, now let us go back here. Now as I said, this is the scripting window where you actually run the script, and here it has file, help, and variable window, and this is the main console. This we have already seen. Okay, now how to set the working directory. There are three methods. One is by using the icon, using the library OS, that is operating system, and by using the command cd. Now what I would actually say is that these things are much complicated. Okay, so basically the best way to actually set a working directory is directly by saving a file and providing a path for saving a file in your laptop or in your system. That is the best way, rather than going with any of these three methods. Okay, I will show you. That is very easy. It will be very helpful for you, rather than using this, getting confused and all. It is actually not needed. See, when we are doing coding, we do coding to make things simpler. Okay, and the main agenda of this particular lecture is to understand in a much simpler way. Okay, so this is the method 1. Okay, I will just show the slide first, then I will show you practically how it can be done. So this is your variable explorer window, which I had just now shown you. There you have this particular icon. Where you have this particular icon, you can select on this and set the path where you have to save your file. Now if you find this as difficult, there is another method. Okay, that is method 2 is by importing OS. Okay, that you can do it, or method 3 is by running this particular command of cd. Now if you find all these three things very difficult, there is a much easier way also that I will show you. Okay, just a minute. Now see, this is my main window. Okay, so the best way to actually set your working directory or the path for you saving your file is that you just go to file, you click on a new file. Okay, now this untitled1.py is your new file that has been opened. Now what you can do is that you just go to the file and go to save as. Okay, now once you go to the save as, you can see that I am saving this test.py, which was my earlier file, on my desktop, and you can see here that the working directory is already set to desktop. Okay, rather than going here and making all those changes, which some of you might feel complicated, this is the best way. And you can name whatever you want here. Okay, you can name it with your name, or you can just write first program. Okay, now you can save it. Okay, now that is how you have saved your file, and the directory is also set at the desktop. Okay, so this is the best way to set your directory. Okay, so next we will see how to actually execute some simple commands also. Okay, so here the file creation. Okay, so file creation, actually, as I said, you can click on this particular window and you can actually create a new file. This is one method. Okay, the other method is you can go to file and click on new file also. This is another method. Okay, so these are the two methods which I actually just now I had showed you. Now what is a variable, we will see. Okay, see, variable is basically an identifier containing a particular information. Okay, the best way to understand a variable is like a container. Okay, there are various containers where you store different items. Okay, so that is basically a variable. Whenever you want to store something, you use a variable. Okay, now if you are specifying a is equal to 12, a is your variable which has a value of 12. Okay, so information is referred to as a value. Okay, so whatever value you are storing, that is actually information, but actually you are storing in the form of a value there. Okay, variable name points to a memory address or a storage location and is used as a reference for that particular stored value. So now that is actually a variable. Okay, now this is a simple creating a variable and executing the program. Okay, now we are going to execute this particular simple program where I am going to define a variable called 11. Then I am going to define a variable called b, which is a multiplied 10, and where a contains the value of 11. Then I am going to print the values of a comma b. Now we'll try to run this simple command and see how we get the output in the console window. Okay, please follow me. This is a very easy method and a very easy task, if you want me to say. So I'll clear everything. Okay, I've already saved this as my first program. You can give whatever name you want. Okay, so I'll just specify a is equal to 12. Okay, one second. Specify a is equal to 12. Then I will enter it as b is equal to again maybe 10. Okay, no, I'll give it as b is equal to a into 10. Okay, once this is done, then I'm going to print a comma b. Okay, now I'm done with this. Okay, now I'm going to save this file. So I've saved this file, then I'm going to run this. So you can see here, okay, so here you can see I've got 12 and 120. So my value for a was already 12, so that is printed. Now b, what is my b? B is a into 10. So a was already 12, 12 into 10 is my 120. So this is how you get the output, and the best part is this variable window. Okay, so it gives the name of all the three variables, a, b, and basically your c also. Okay, so here you can see that all are integer type. 12 is there. This particular c is actually the earlier variable that I had run earlier, the earlier code that I had run, that is still there. Actually there's a particular command called as delete c that will basically delete my c variable. So this I will tell you in the coming lectures also. Okay, so there's a simple execution of a program or a simple execution of variables in a Spyder environment. Okay, so once again, if we go back, what and all we have learned here is that we just explored the Spyder software here, and here basically we are having the scripting window where we can run our basic commands. This is the console window where we actually get our output, and this is the variable explorer window where we get the details of the variables and its type and its size, okay, and the values that is assigned to that in this particular window. And we also learned how to actually set the directory path or the directory path, and how to create a new file. There are two options. Either you can click on this, see the pointer, you can click on this, it's showing as new file, or you go to the file and click on a new file, and then you save it wherever you want, and that will be your directory path over here. That is your working directory over here. Now this is the simplest way. Don't make it complicated by clicking on this folder setting and all, and going by importing OS and all. That is very much complicated. Go with a very much easier way that will really help you. Okay, now we will see what are the next contents. Okay, so we are done with creating variables and getting the output also. We are done with this. Okay, saving the script file, I have already showed you how to save a scripting file. This also I have shown you. Okay, so finally the summary of this particular lecture is that interfacing of Spyder is done. Okay, setting the working directory is done. I have explained that to you in a very easy way, and creating and saving a Python script file is also done. Now these are some of the things that come in the introduction part for the Spyder. Okay, thank you. Next we will look into much complicated things and much important commands that you have to run in the Spyder, like clearing your console, resetting your console, deleting a particular value or a particular variable in the console, that we are going to see in the coming lecture. Okay, thank you.